next question. So the next question says, in a given array A of n elements, you have to find out maximum and minimum sum of n minus 1 elements. So what it says, it is actually extension of the question which we have just done, and it is saying that, let us say, I'll take the same example. Okay, so that was 5, 1, 2, 9. Correct. So what it is saying, you have to do the maximum sum and minimum sum of n minus 1 values. So what it says here, what is the value of n? Means the total number of values which we have is 4. Correct? It is saying just pick 3 values which is going to give you the maximum sum. So if you are going to pick these 3 values, 5, 2 and 9, you will get maximum sum. Correct? For the minimum sum, you just pick 3 smaller values which is going to return the minimum sum. So if you are taking these 3 values, you will get minimum sum of those values. So how you can do it? So if you remember what we have done in the previous case, we found out the maximum value, we found out the minimum value. So if you will realize, in the max sum, what we are doing, we are excluding minimum value. Correct? And in the minimum sum, what we are doing, we are excluding max value. So you know what you can do? Just take a loop from 0 to n, and then you find out sum of all values. Okay, so let us say you got some in some variable. Correct? Now in order to find out the maximum sum, what you have to do, from that given sum, just subtract the minimum value. So for the maximum sum, whatever value you have here, subtract the minimum value. And for the minimum sum, what you have to do, from that given sum value, subtract the maximum value. And how it is going to be there, I explained. Here what we are not including, minimum value. Rest all the values are there. Here what we are doing, we are including all the values except maximum value. So if you are going to follow this approach, you will actually find out the minimum and maximum sum of the given set of arrays. And for this one, let me reuse the existing code. Okay. So here what we were doing, we were finding out minimum and maximum value. So this code is going to remain as it is. Before that, what we will do, we are going to find out sum. So let us say, and whenever we have to find out sum, always initialize it to 0, because anything added to 0 is going to return you the same value, right? Now let's run a loop starting from I to n. Just add all the values here. So what this one is going to do, this one is going to have, like, I'll come back here and I'll explain. So now in the sum, what we have, if the array values were 5, 1, 2, 9, so the sum is going to have all these values. Correct? Now what I am saying, if you want to find, and you know what we are doing, like, I'm just going according to the code. So this is going to do the sum. I'm not doing the calculation. Okay, I mean, logic is important, not the calculation. Then the minimum value from this array, you can say 1 is the minimum value. What is the maximum value from this array? That is 9. Correct? So if you want to find out the maximum sum, from the sum value, subtract the minimum value. So 5, 1, 2, 9 minus 1. So these two are going to get cancelled, and what you will be getting in return? 16. Correct? If you want to find out the minimum sum, so what I am saying, from that sum, you just exclude the maximum value. So these ones are going to get cancelled, and what you will be getting? 8. So from this you can see, this is the maximum value, which maximum sum which we can get for n minus 1 values, because it is not including all the values. It is saying from n minus 1 values of minimum sum which you can get. So now let's come back to the Visual Studio Code and look the code for the same. So this one is doing the sum part. This one is doing the minimum and maximum part. What you have to do? You have to, like let us say, we are just printing some statement here. So here we can say max sum of n minus 1 values will be. How we are figuring it out? From that sum, you just have to subtract minimum value, right? And minimum sum of n minus 1 values will be sum minus maximum value. Correct? Now let's run and show you the output. Since you already know what the values are going to be, so it's relatable. So you can see it is saying sum of, okay, so it is actually coming twice. Let me get rid of it. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I forgot that is the return statement, right? So we can do it like this. Yeah, so now it is saying maximum sum of n minus 1 values will be 16 and minimum sum of n minus 1 values will be 8. You can try out the same logic on any other set of values and you will be finding this as the output. So what and all steps we did here? Firstly, you do the sum, then you find out minimum and maximum value. And in the output, if you are finding out the maximum sum from that given sum value, subtract the minimum value. And for the minimum sum, you subtract the maximum value. Then you will be getting your required answer. I hope I have helped you in making 4 questions easier for you. Let's meet you in the next class. Alright guys, happy learning. See you there. Bye-bye.